It's time to make the donuts. Hi guys, welcome back. This picture was sent to me by Edie Coleman, and she asked me what she can do to make improvements on it. Well, first of all, I think her laydown is really smooth. I think she did a great job, and considering this book came from the dollar store, you can only imagine what the paper must be like. She did a fantastic job on it. How could she make this better? And that's what prompted me to make this video and talk about the one problem that I do see in this picture that we can easily correct. So Edie was able to take the picture of her picture and send it into the Facebook group. So I'm assuming that she's got a camera that probably does have filters on it or have the ability to put a picture into the computer and use a filter on it. There are plenty of apps out there that will do it. Here is a trick that very few people have thought about doing. You take one of the pictures that you've done, put it through a filter, and turn it black and white. What you're going to see is your tonal issues on the picture. Now, if you look at this picture, the only thing I did was turned it black and white. So all the tones remained in there and they extracted just the color itself. And what I see that had problems in this picture becomes obvious. It's very monotone. The highs and the lows of the tones of the picture are just flat. And that's what is bothering her about this picture. So how could she change it? I took her picture and I tweaked up the tones. I made whatever light, I made brighter. Whatever was dark, I made darker. And as you can see in this picture, this looks much better just by stretching out the tonal gradient. Now, that's the whole trick of art, is getting those tones correct. So it does take a little bit of practice. Then I took it one step further. I'm going to do a demo of some of these donuts. I didn't have her exact picture, so I went on to Etsy and I found one that was similar. For the most part, this is a donut is a donut. I'm going to use her colors and I'm going to show you how to create that tonal gradient that will make a picture pop. So we're going to start the donuts, and you can see that I've already started working out the colors. I was going to use this as a practice sheet just until I got the colors right, but I'm going to just keep going on it. And I found that I've got 5 colors: goldenrod, light umber, 90% warm gray, 90% French gray, and cream. Since this is a coloring book and I've used lesser paper, I'm going to go a little harder than I normally would, because like when you're doing bread, you're going to have different shades in there that require that. It's not really a smooth transition. I'm going to say that I'm going to use a medium pressure to begin with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my goldenrod. I don't want to make a completely smooth transition because I want to make it like flaky. So I'm just roughing in some of the areas and putting in where my darks go. So for now, that's enough with the goldenrod. And that's going to be like the medium cakey part of the donut. Now I'm going to add in the cream. And while I'm doing that, I'm blending that goldenrod into it, just like this. I'm still using a medium pressure. And this will give me like divots in the donut, because the donut's not glass-like. It's got air in the dough and okay, once you have everything blended up, Now you're going to start putting in some more darks. And I'm going to move to my light umber. So goldenrod cream and now light umber. And I'm getting the light umber into my really dark areas. Now this donut's not very big. It's only a couple of inches and very small, so that's why it's going to go by really quick. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to my French Gray 90. And we're getting real dark. We're working up into our tones. The icing would overhang on the bread. And I'm going to get just a little bit in there. Not too much. I want to keep it nice and fluffy. And as my darkest color, I'm going to use the 90% warm gray. So I've really run the gamut of tones from my lightest cream to my darkest 90% warm gray. Now this looks really dark because the icing isn't there yet. As the other colors sit next to it, this will not look as dark. So I don't want to overdo it until I get the other colors on the page. And once I get the other colors down, then I'll go back and I'll tweak up the tones so that my darks are really dark and my lights are really light. And now I'm going to just blend everything up with my cream. Dirty on the page, the crumblies. This is the Faber-Castell Tack It. And here it is. This stuff is fantastic. You have to get this. Every time it's a clean piece. It lasts a really long time. You get a lot. And it takes the crumbles right off the page without smearing them all over the place. Ever since I started using it, my pages have been so much cleaner. And you can even clean the pencil points off with it. Okay, now we're going to move on to frosting. I'm going to do chocolate down here, mostly because it's darker colors and I want to get rid of these circles. I don't really want these dots on the page. If I put them back on, I'll do them with white. So I'm going to ignore them for now, and I think they're light enough. The page is light enough that I can get rid of it. And I'm going to start with my darker colors. Now for the chocolate combination, I'm going to use chocolate, dark brown, black raspberry, terracotta, and some goldenrod. Now, it's questionable whether I'm going to add the goldenrod and the terracotta. These are definite, and white in there to lighten it up and give it some highlights. And I'm just going very lightly. This starts my tone off, so I have somewhere to go from it. I don't like starting on the page so dark. Okay, I'm gonna take it darker now. And that would be black raspberry. And this will give it a little reddish flavor. That's what you want to call it. I'm going to disperse the light. That's why I'm doing a few tapered strokes in there. So that the light is not hard, it's more bursting. Okay. Now I'm gonna go a little bit closer to my highlighted area with the cream. Blending up all those little hard edges. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to really dark. And let's see, what did I choose here for really dark? Let me see how dark brown works. Oh, nicely, okay. I'm gonna even try a little bit, a teeny tiny bit of black, because I'm so dark. I'm going very light because black can flatten. Now I'm going to work on the icing, and I'm going to start out with more of a light, let's see, 20% cool. This is just a drop of warm gray. %. I think I'm going to do a strawberry in the middle. And I'm starting out with a little bit of pomegranate. And I'm just doing in some darker. I want it a little fluffier than the smooth glaze. And then I'm going to use pink. And I'm gonna go over it. And I'm gonna add in a blush pink. Okay, now that I got the bottom layer on that, I'm gonna okay. Now I'm gonna shadow the red with the cool gray, and if it looks a little harsh, I'm gonna change it over to indigo blue. I've been working on it for probably about 3 hours, and I'm going to call it for the day because I may want to revisit this in the future. I kind of liked what I was doing, and it was a lot of fun. So I might actually finish this picture. I'm going to put it away for now. So I don't want to spray it. I don't want to do anything to it, fix up, or do the final details on it. This video is about tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap a picture of it, and then I'm going to turn my picture black and white so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So just hang out for a second, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.